Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast. We'll be bringing raw and unfiltered energy for each movie and TV show that we will be reviewing. Just think of it as turning your movie group chat into a podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jazz.
I am Jason. And man, per usual, I got some house rules I want to run through with you. So let's get started. One, we will be spoiling this review. So if you haven't seen it, you haven't watched it, please stop, go check it out, and then come listen to this review. Number two, please like, share, subscribe. Let your friends know, let your church members know, let your family know what we are doing over here at the Was It Good Though podcast. Number three, have fun. We just kicking shit, having fun with my friends. That's what we do. And last but not least, this is not a kid-friendly podcast. So if you're watching with your kids, that's something on you that has nothing to do with us. Let's get to this review.
Jason driving anyway. With your Mario Kart hat on.
Hey man, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater, It's, a little something. Get the roll these up. But what's good, people? This is the What's It Good Though podcast about movies and TV shows. I am one of your hosts. I am Jason.
I am Jazz.
And this week, Jazz, episode 101, we are doing a movie that they tried to send directly to us. They wanted to put this on streams, but one of the newcomers, one of the up and coming horror creators, who's trying to make a name for himself. He had to stamp his name on this to get it into the theater. So before I ever really get into the movie, I hope to see this more with some of the Black films that we have, like things that want to get created, because I see this conversation often. I think the most previous one, or the most prevalent one besides this one, was the Roadhouse movie. I know Jake Gyllenhaal was kind of upset that they told him it would be a theater release, but they stopped it and only made it a Amazon stream release. I think the director was really pissed off about it, wasn't really supporting the movie. I think it did pretty well. I think it was one of their best streamed movies, which it was. I mean, it was decent. I love the action that they had in it. Did you have any thoughts on that?
I haven't seen that movie, but no, I definitely understand, and it's very unfortunate because it makes you think about how many projects tried to get a theater release and weren't able to, and it went to streams. And the folks that were behind the scenes that created it probably weren't as loud of trying to get into theaters, or they probably didn't have that same backing as the movie that we're reviewing today. And it just goes to streams. And we've had multiple conversations of movies that we wish we saw in theaters that was on streams. Like, I would say for me, I'm going to say Fresh. That was an Amazon movie that had our boy from Infinity War, Bucky. And then also Soul. Soul is the biggest one for me. And then I'm going to say Prey. I would have loved to see Prey in theaters. But I think Soul went back to theaters, but I think I was traveling the weekend that it went to theaters, because I feel like it was around the holidays. So, yeah.
So I will say I've been seeing it. I even got with Crystal because I was like, is there like a incentive? Because a lot of these movies have been re-releasing in theaters.
Yes.
So I think the Star Wars movie, I think it was episode 2, maybe episode 3, from the 2000 saga, the 1-2 episode when they did showing Anakin before he became
Darth Vader.
They said that was the largest re-release of a movie in theaters so far. And so I've seen different things, like the guy
The Mummy.
who did The Mummy is coming, the guy that did Interstellar, Batman.
Oh yeah.
Chris Nolan, like almost all his movies were coming into theaters. But yeah, I mean, I don't really go back to the movies to go see movies like that. I did want to catch Interstellar because I haven't seen it. That's why when you asked me that question, is it or is it not, I couldn't even answer the question for real because I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
So certain things I do feel like they do warrant a watch in theaters, but
I'm not gonna lie. I would love to see The Mummy in theaters. Like that big sand face. I would definitely try to go see that. I think it's still in theaters right now. Actually, I might go try to see The Mummy instead of the Fall Guy. I know.
No, don't do it.
I'm gonna see both, but if The Mummy is still in theaters, I'm definitely gonna go see that.
I had a good time with the Fall Guys. It was I have a hot take. I'm gonna wait for when we do the review to drop that hot take. But I was at the movies going to go see this movie. But I always pop out. My movie be over with. I check the time. I pop into a different theater. I went in there, sat down. Watching Ghostbusters. I'm in there chilling, like okay, I'm riding. With it. Then there was a scene. Dan Aykroyd, he is checking a device to see if it was a ghost inside of it. And then shit started going crazy. Everything started shaking. The lights come on in the theater. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, they doing special effects. Man, they cut the screen off. I'm like, oh. Hey, look, I started running out of there like I was doing something I ain't had no business. Oh, that's my cue. That's
Right,
my cue.
looking guilty as hell. They don't know.
I didn't want nobody to be like, hey, nobody bought this movie, so nobody's supposed to be in here. And typically, that's something I do check when I go into those movies. Like if there's someone in it, you can sneak into it. If nobody's in it, don't. This is not this is not a sponsorship to tell you how to do it. I'm just saying, if you do, don't do it by yourself. You can't be in a theater by yourself.
Somebody listening, they just like, he just let them know my entire scam.
But episode 101, Monkey Man. Yes, movie by Dave Patel. Everybody was introducing it as a Jon Wick-ish type movie. I guess, but it was intertwining, I guess, Hindu religion within the actual story, showing just some of the images and how everything where they are is going. And this movie opens up with a young woman and her child, and she's telling him a story. I think it Human is what the actual story said.
Hey, don't get me lying. Yeah.
Hanuman. Hanuman is the story. She's telling about Hanuman and just how he was very powerful. And then one day he ate the sun. And when he ate the sun, the gods I guess they exiled him. And they took all his powers. And then we come to present day. We see the kid. I guess was his name actually Bobby?
No.
I didn't think I don't even know if he ever got a name, but that's what he went by. So I'm going with Bobby.
Yeah, let's do that. Because when I look it up, it says kid. I'm like, so y'all ain't get that man no name. Well, all right, Bobby.
So don't get introduced to Bobby. Bobby, I thought this was wrestling, like it was fake, but it's almost like they had him in the ring throwing the matches. Am I wrong in that? Like it's
no,
like
that's definitely what it was. This reminded me of those like underground fight matches that you pretty much will see in like Mortal Kombat, the latest version, where you have like a bunch of people coming around making bets on fights, and you just got different folks in the ring. And so this one, obviously, people had masks on, so I guess you don't want anybody to know your identity. And when he was getting his ass beat in the ring, I said, "Oh, just like Cole." Okay, you just getting your ass beat like a lot. And I'm like, were you supposed to be getting your ass beat? But yeah, it turns out he's the one that, the monkey, the entertainment, to get his ass beat. And then you go, the money that you need. Obviously, it's not much, but yeah.
Was it? So I don't know if you watched The Gentleman, but there's a scene in that they have what they call the ringer. It's the guy who is intentionally there to throw fights. So when that actual fight comes in, somebody throws a purse down on this person and they win. So they're good at selling the fight, but they're also good at actually fighting. So if they would actually fight, they would actually win. So I didn't know if this what it was because he didn't really wasn't even really fighting back at any point.
I just knew he probably was just like he gonna go down in the third round. So, but yeah.
So, but in this movie, there are flashbacks. How did you feel about how they were
No.
used in this movie?
How did you feel about the flashbacks being used?
If I'm driving, Jazz, I don't
Oh,
think that
okay.
you driving from the passenger side. I'm
My
trying to
bad.
understand.
Look, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens.
Don't you dare put your hand on my wheel.
Now, well, I'm just gonna just jump out the car like, fuck you. Nah, I'm playing. But I enjoyed the flashbacks. I think they were utilized very well. It's like they were giving us breadcrumbs of his past, and the breadcrumbs kind of told you the story for the present day. Because obviously there's something going on why he's going after this gentleman doing all of this. And so obviously you see the full puzzle picture at the end of the movie, and then they give us the entire line of events. Instead of in 3 seconds, it's 10 minutes. And so I definitely enjoyed it. I thought they were useful. I didn't feel like they were doing too much with it, but that may have been also the flashbacks camera angles weren't that aggressive. They were just like normal camera angles. But I will say this movie as a whole did an amazing job with its cinematography because damn, the shots were dope as shit. It made it a very good theater experience, in my opinion. But yeah, what did you think about the flashbacks?
Actually, I enjoyed them, honestly. So I like that. I ain't trying to make it hard for you.
I end up leaving that in. It's like, yes, we're about to expose Jason.
Expose me? Now, why would you want to do that?
Get your camera together because I want to leave this audio in.
That's great.
We about to look. I realized that when I was doing my rewatch of this, I said, I completely forgot this movie had so many flashbacks because the movie we're doing at the end of the month has a shit ton of flashbacks. So that's 2 movies in this month alone that Jason gets to experience his newfound love of flashbacks because Bob Marley had 3.
So it's not about a newfound love. I feel as if the flashback service the movie, it does a different. It's a different thing. So with these flashbacks, they went back to the childhood, which we understood what they were. It was him thinking about his mom. We know he's the kid that they flash forward, and then we just going back and forth between what's playing on him, what trauma he's going in. Bob Marley didn't explain it. It's just he'll be smoking a cigarette, walking down the street, and then you would see him with the pastor. You're like, wait, what the why are we here?
There was a time jump.
And then there was him with fire and a man on a horse who wouldn't let him come by him. Like, I was just like, what does that even mean? It's like some that was like Halloween, the Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie. Like, what does it even mean? Like, what's the symbolism of this? And maybe it wasn't for me to understand. So the flashbacks here, they serviced the story well. It kind of made me think of Avatar, especially the live action version, because in the TV show, you don't really see some of the backstory. So that's where the difference between the TV show and the cartoon. The cartoon may have glossed over something, so you just see it and you just feel it. The TV show kind of explained it. And here, kind of like with that, when the mother gets killed, like they brutally murder her. So I got why he lived that for that long. Like that revenge was something that he was seeking. When you seen what happened to the mom, how did you feel about that scene?
So it's like when that happened, obviously, with him having so much hatred towards the general, it's like, okay, general killed his mom. But then you see she hid him upstairs. Don't say nothing. Shh. I'm like, sis, ain't you gonna hide? No, she didn't. And then with obviously he was about to assault her, but when she cut his ear,
Mhm.
like when he was holding his hand up to his ear in shock, she could have stabbed him in the neck again. But she stood there like she was in shock of herself. I was like, sis, you can get one more stab in. But that's what I was saying when I was watching. I was like, get him again. But I was like, he's still alive when your son older. So obviously you didn't stab him in the neck. But nah, because it's insinuated that he raped her, right?
It
And
it
then
seemed it seemed like it.
right, that's what I was thinking. And
It felt like it was insinuated,
and then he just pours her with gasoline.
bro.
And so he
So
saw Bobby up at the top of this in the house, right? Because they made eye contact. Now, if he
I
couldn't see that little boy eye, then
I don't think he's seen it. Like I said, I don't think I could be wrong, but I don't
right,
think he's seen it.
okay. Because I'm curious, man. That was tough because once the general left, she's obviously passed away, and the house, everything is burning, and Bobby comes downstairs. Like yeah, I get his rage. Like I
Bruh,
get that.
nah, I get it. And then it even explained his hands. I was wondering what happened,
Yeah,
to his hand and he trying to put her out. Like, that was tough. That was
and
tough. Everybody that got what they got definitely deserved it.
everybody, like all of y'all deserve to die for real, because especially when you come to find out the religious leader
Hmm.
orchestrated all of that. He was there at that village when that
See, okay,
happened.
that's something I really didn't understand. His position, I really didn't understand. It's like he pushing a different religion and like he was trying to run for politics and take
So
over.
I don't think he was trying to run for politics. It just seemed like one of those things to where church and state is blended together when church and state should be separate.
Mhm.
And so he got his people followers. Oh, he trying to sell the politician, which could kind of put him in a position of power,
Mhm.
but you just don't see it because obviously the politician that he was saying, like, he's a man of our higher and all that other stuff. And it's just like, nah, bro, y'all destroyed that village for real. So I
Yeah.
think he was just trying to get himself in a better position and more into like the government and have somebody else do like the governmental responsibilities while he's still doing his follow me, got all of his folks around him while he in a pool. I'm not exactly sure what he was in, but that might have been like a ceremony or something like that. So this movie had a lot of culture in it.
It did a lot of it.
Um, I love the different camera angles in this. And that scene at the beginning when the man in the wheelchair stole his purse.
Queenie.
Just that whole so many pieces of it going from one person to the next person to the next person.
I was just about to say that, like the way they maneuver and the way he had the people interchanging and
Yeah.
interlocked and just the whole neighborhood behind him was crazy.
Do you think it was a text that went out was like, Al, I need you outside your window, get this purse, take it
Man,
outside to the back
some
door and give it to somebody else?
so I don't know. Like that's a crazy system. The way they had to do it. And I was trying to figure out who she was, because you had the random kid that came to Bobby to bring him the cell phone, but of course he wasn't gonna he wanted something for something, like a little barter system, which I wasn't too mad at that.
Nah, yeah. Lucky. I think that was Lucky.
Yeah, the
But
kid, yeah,
yeah. So I think Lucky was just offering up that information. You said her name was Queenie?
Queenie, yeah.
I think Queenie was like a madam.
Mm,
Because she, of course, was in charge of all the ladies at the establishment and making sure certain women were in places and looked a certain kind of way. So I
mhm,
think that was mainly her position. Um, and so all of the men of power would come there so they can go ahead and do
mhm.
what they need to do. So you see what kind of party they was having in there.
Yeah, that was
Imagine
lit.
somebody walking around, not saying nobody on this pod would do anything like that. But if you was in a spot like that and they got little lines in a little capsule, I'd be like, where the champagne at? Why y'all passing around Coke? I don't want no booger sugar.
I mean, hey man, that was in there. They was in there kicking it. They was having them a good little time. But of course, he comes to her, and he's looking for a job. And it was interesting to see where he was staying at, because wherever he was living, it was just bodies on top of bodies, just all around him.
Yeah.
So like it's like he was struggling the entire time from being the kid up until that point. When he got that position. And he kind of told her he'll take any job, he said, look at my hands, like even the worst one, I take it, but I do need the money. And she put him with Alfonso. This is when he begins to start seeing the different events and the different parties and just seeing the different things. And I thought him and the girl, I don't remember her name. I thought they were going to have something, but he definitely was looking at her as if that was going to be something.
They were looking at each other like that. And when I was watching it, I was like, damn, I want somebody to look at me like that. Cause like no words, like the eye contact, the facial expression. And they really didn't say much to each other. They probably had one page of lines and it was about a dog.
Like that, whatever that little little tattoo she had,
Yeah.
because it was something that he dealt with his mom. Not dealt with, something he experienced when he was with his mom.
Yeah, I forgot what kind of bird it was, but I know that the guy that saw it, he said it's a sparrow. And then Bobby was like, it's not a sparrow. She probably didn't know what kind of bird it was. She probably was just like, look, I had to get this so I can get the job. Because I think a few of the other girls had it too. So
you gotta see Bobby. He gets triggered when he's in the room.
Yeah,
nigga sees the guy that kills his mom in there. Then he goes into the room. We see the bruise on the ear. And we don't know what the connection is, but he knows exactly what it is. And he pulls the gun on her. But I guess if you never killed anyone or you've ever been in that position, I can imagine how they can play on you, man. After saying my mama gone, I couldn't imagine myself not blanking. I probably would have been like John Major's character in Harder They Fall when he had to take his brother up out of here.
Listen, I done made it all the way up here. Somebody might come through, and if I get caught, they're going to kill me. So I can't hesitate. Like it's just, I'm not even gonna ask you, do you remember my mama name? You ain't even gotta know why, none of that. Just and then you would have had to shoot the other person. But so obviously where this location was, you can hear gunshots, which is normally an element that isn't used too much. When you got somebody shooting in a room next door, it's just like, y'all ain't hear that. Everybody just chilling. But in this, they was just like, whoa, we need to go. And then obviously it was 2 shots back to back. So they was like, oh, hell yeah, we definitely gotta go.
Is that up here? Oh! There were a few nuance things in here that I love. Like you said, the shooting is one of them. When he was beating the bag, the punching bag. I like when they did that when they was playing the drums behind him. And the other one was when they were fighting and the guy grabbed the axe. He was like, "Nah, you can't get through here." He swung an axe and hit the other guy. I was like, you don't really catch too many movies where they have those blunders in there, and I wish you did, because people, I mean, like when it comes to it, I've seen when people shooting, the wrong person may get in the way and they may start using them as a shield, but you don't really catch too many movies that do the whole punch the wrong person, unless they're doing it for jokes. This was here like a very serious moment when they did it.
Right. And the other one I would say when he was leaving the spot, he thought he could jump through that window. I'm not gonna lie. I love that scene because I was just like, finally, somebody's not able to jump through that damn window. Because then as a viewer, we're always expecting like, okay, he got to get out of there because all of the men are coming. He's like, all right, bet. His ass hit it so hard, and then he just goes out of the shot. And he popped back up like, all right, I tried.
So I gotta go a different route.
Right. He's like, I gotta rethink this. Because I'm sitting here like, okay, how are you about to get out of here? But I will say, like, the fight scenes in this movie, fire. Like that bathroom scene. First
Yeah.
off, I'm sitting here like, dude, did you not flush the toilet? Because your shit was in that stall for real. And it was just DNA everywhere in that
Yeah,
bathroom.
nah, yeah, a lot of fecal matter. What was your favorite fight scene?
Oh, man, that's tough because the one at the end, when you had our folks, but that was at the temple with him when they came in,
Yeah,
because
when I
I
go,
wasn't expecting that. So I'm gonna say the one at the end for sure, but the bathroom might be my second. What about yours?
yeah, yeah, man, of course, I'm gonna actually go with this scene. So the kitchen, when I was in the kitchen fighting, I enjoyed that the end. It went from the kitchen fighting to in their ballroom or wherever their play was going on, where they popped in, like those two. it was dope just seeing the different fighting. And one of the other one I really loved when he was running on the steps. I wish the camera angle was a little bit better. I feel like because it was like it showed his point of view when he was swinging
Mhm.
out of it, and as he was fighting to go down the steps. But I like that. But he wasn't really that. He wasn't a great fighter initially. He wasn't. So I like
No.
that because
So
he was getting his ass with a bit.
he was cold. He was cold. But I was gonna ask you, like, how did you feel about the character development in this movie and like the pacing of it? Because obviously we see how he was, like you mentioned before, he was when he was trying to shoot the general for the first time, and how he was just couldn't really control himself. Uh, he was just like shaking and shit. But then as you see him towards the end of the movie, so how did you feel about his growth as a character?
I love the development of the character. I will say the pacing was a bit off to me personally. Like
Mm,
that act one was kind of slow to a certain like it. I guess based on it because I did the thing. I watched the trailer whenever it initially came out, and I it didn't take anything away from the movie. But it made me because they're selling it as um a John Wick movie. So when I come into this, I'm already thinking ass kicking from beginning to end type thing, but
got you.
it wasn't that. So the first act it is slow. I do think act two starts when he gets shot when he's running from the people inside the building. He's running from the people, and then he gets caught, and then he gets and then not Alfonso, but Alpha, Alpha and his crew, Alpha and let me be respectful because that was an element in the movie that they said. I was wondering if that mattered because there was a trans group that was slaughtered and murdered out by whatever the forces that was in there. So I consider that act two whenever he meets Alpha and the crew. Because he gets whenever they're in, like I said, in that building, him and Alphonse they run, he gets inside the Mini Cooper that he calls Nicki Minaj.
I wouldn't have jumped in that car. I'd have been like, he's stealing my shit. Because with you going with him, you are associating yourself with him and
Mm.
you know who he's going against. I'm actually shocked his character didn't end up dead.
Who
Alpha,
Alfonso?
yeah.
He was funny though.
I mean, yeah, he
I,
was. He added some comedy to it.
I mean, I guess with him, I mean, he the one that named the Monkey Man too.
He didn't have that already.
No, that was calling him something. Well, maybe they were. Maybe it was. I could have been tripping, but I didn't hear him call him Monkey Man until that moment. And maybe they just wasn't celebrating him up until
Right.
that
I mean, would you
point.
be celebrating somebody who keep getting their ass beat week after week?
But I mean,
No.
sometimes you want to cheer for the underdog. Like he gonna get one off this week.
Jason, how long are you gonna do that? After 7 weeks? Yo, your underdog is about to be dead. Like, no.
What do you think about this chase scene?
So when I watched it the first time, and anytime I see a character that's just doing these long chase scenes, I think to myself, oh, I would have died 20 minutes ago because I would have just been like, I need to take a breath. Like he just kept going. You just got in a fight. You haven't had time to rest. And now you're going into this building where someone is just like, you trying to up? And like, because obviously it seems like did it seem like it was some sex going on or did I
No,
misread
they
that?
were having sex.
Okay.
They were having sex. He busted
Right.
to the room.
Yeah, so then he got his weapon trying to kill you, and it's just like, oh my God. And then I'm still got these folks chasing me. I'd have, yeah, I would have got captured. I would just got killed, man. Like if I gotta do a long run, I'm not making it. But I thought again, the camera angles during the scene I thought was dope. And when he got shot, I was like, all right, well, you kind of made it. And maybe they think you did, but as we can see, our holy leaders, like, I started from the bottom and I came up. So you need to go ahead and squash this dude because he's not about to start at the bottom and come up on me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that speech though. He was like, you know, the smallest ember can cause a fire to go ahead and extinguish this today.
And then he burned his finger. I'm like, all right, we get it. You a
You
thug.
mean when he put the fire out?
Yes. He
I
was letting
mean,
his
hey,
finger burn.
you gotta.
Nah, I ain't making no point burning
I,
my
I don't.
finger in
I
front of
don't.
nobody.
I don't do that. But but then you see where he, you know, I guess Act Two is more of him having this revelation, being able to get over what he was going through. What did you think about the relationship him and Alpha had?
I thought it was important because even after everything that he just went through, I think the things that Alpha was able to tell Bobby is stuff he needed to hear, and just that experience around all of them, he was able to focus his anger and his trauma a lot better, which helped him in his fighting and also just his confidence. And so it just seems like he was finding his purpose in a way, if that makes sense. Cause he's just like Alpha, like, yeah, my nigga, you the chosen one for real. You Simba. So you gotta go kill that dude. But not in those words. And so he was like, he got his homeboy, he was like, yo, get on the beats. He need a theme song to get him going. Like he out here holding up the daggone cans of water. I ain't gonna lie, buddy. And it's crazy because I remember him, the actor from a different show, and I was just like, you got,
What was he in?
we ain't gotta talk about that. Well, actually,
Oh,
it's him, so it don't matter. But he was in the newsroom.
oh, okay,
So
okay. I never seen it. I
yeah.
know you always talk about that. So Dave was. Well, I know he was. Him and
He
Daniel
was
Kaluuya were very great friends over in the UK. And I was just saying how Daniel said he remembered just being on one TV show at one point, then the next thing you know, Dave, like he took off um over there. But now that they still very cool today. But yeah, not just seeing where people begin and how they begin. Yeah, it's dope.
yeah. But
Um,
what you think about their relationship?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because you know with when you have those type of moments and you're like you said you're dealing with trauma, something that you couldn't let go. So I keep going back to Avatar, but all this is very Avatar like. Jesus Christ, because in the I guess the relevance in that is you dealing with Aang. He was the last Airbender. Um, he was he was the chosen one. He was the next person up, and he was supposed to be the one to stop or bring balance to the universe. When it came time for him to do that, he ran away. He didn't run away because of the fight. He ran away because he was just like, why are y'all telling me this is what I got to do? He ran away. His powers, for some reason, protected him for 100 years, kept him away from everything. When he came back, all his people were slain. He was the last one left, and he had to learn to own these different powers. And in order for him to get to the trap and to get into the avatar state, he had to let go of the woman that he loved. And he was like, why can't I have both? And it was like, that's not how this works. Like, in order to unlock that last piece of you, you have to be able to let that go. And I say that to say this is where Bobby had to let go of the death of his mom. Like you, because it's still going to be a part of you because nigga, you was there. Like that was something you experienced, but you're carrying this burden. You're carrying a burden that you no longer have to continue to hold. You're going to forever grieve her, but you don't have to. You can once you let that go, you can still honor her at the same exact time. And once he came to that crossroad, he became a different person.
Do you think maybe Bobby blamed himself? to where he was kind of like dealing with trauma and also possibly guilt?
More than likely. More than likely. Because I think about things, not I'm not gonna get too personal, but I can think about things as a kid where I feel like I should have stepped in. But it's like when first off, when you're a kid, there shouldn't be a moment that you should have to step to an adult about anything. Not about an adult mistreatment, abuse, any of these moments because you're a kid. But we also know sometimes adults are as childish as children. But something like that, that shouldn't even be the moment, a situation for him to even have to even to put on himself at 8, 9, 10 years old. Like you're watching your mother be killed. Like, what are you supposed to do? Go out there and get killed too? Like that's insane to even think about.
Right. And then also, I mean, we see what happened to him as a child and then where he is as an adult. So we're not exactly sure what happened to him during that time. Did he have any family? Did he have anybody to grow up with and things like that? Or has it just always been him? To where that might be another reason why that relationship between him and Alpha is so important, because you have somebody that is genuinely trying to guide you and help you. And so, which obviously very comforting. It's just kind of, he was able to build a community within those 34 or 35 days.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I think the character development in this was great and very strong, and I also feel like the story was very strong.
Yeah, I
Like,
enjoyed it. It was very solid. Like I said, I think the only piece that didn't really get was the religious guy, like trying to understand what his place in all of it was. But it's always seemed like it's always like you have the power guy, you have the the influential person as well as playing different parts. Sometimes it's the same person, sometimes it's different people playing those different roles. So
he was trying to get in
uh,
position to where he could possibly influence laws being passed.
yeah,
So it's to have your hand in politics, because it's just like, well, my followers will vote for you and you make sure I'm your right hand man. And so that might have definitely been part of his agenda.
mhm.
So, but he over like, he's a holy man. I'm sitting here like, sir, you not holy. You gotta watch out for these people trying to scream like, yes. Mm, man.
And so I didn't ask you this previously, but do you have a favorite movie about revenge?
Oh God. About revenge.
Yeah,
Damn.
something that happened, somebody's trying to.
I do. Well, the first one that comes to mind for me, since you it's a lot of stuff out there, but I'm gonna say the first one that comes to me that I thought was fire was Law Abiding Citizen.
Ooh, that's
He
a great
wasn't he wasn't wrong.
one.
The
He
court
went.
system was wrong. Like, what you expect that man to do? He's a tax paying father that lost his family. Spoiler alert, but the movie's been out for a while. And so he was doing his duty as a father and a taxpayer.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, one movie I used to like as a kid that really hurt my feelings was Hard to Kill. I think that's with Steven Seagal.
Oh
Like
wait, no, I'm thinking another movie. Sorry,
what you thinking of?
I was thinking of A Time to Kill.
A
I was
Time to
on a
Kill. Yeah,
totally different side.
yeah, now Hard to Kill. It's Steven Seagal and I think his wife and his kid. They come in and they murder them. And he has to go back and get them. Also, there's a movie with um Passion of the Christ. What's the guy name? Not Jim
Oh,
Caviezel, but the
I,
one
I,
that kind of went crazy at the time.
wait, what? He went
Mel
crazy.
Brooks, Mel Gibson, Mel Gibson.
You
You
said
remember
he was
he
in
went
what
crazy?
movie?
He was well. He directed Passion of the Christ. I think he wrote it, right?
Oh, he wrote it.
I thought. Did he not write that?
Yeah.
I'm
When he
wrong.
cited the Bible? Nah, that's not saying the Bible. Never mind. I'm tripping.
Hey, you stupid. Hey, no, you know exactly what the hell I meant, man. Let
He
me
wrote
see.
that, yo, Jesus got that cross,
Yeah, he wrote
and
it. He wrote the movie. He wrote the movie. He directed it. But yeah, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson.
so I'm just thinking like him writing like, so he was a savior. He
Bro, you stupid. Hey, chill out. It's called Edge of Darkness. Edge of Darkness, amazing movie. Mel Gibson plays like I forgot, I don't know who he played. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember. However, this company, Big Pharma, they were trying to cover something up, and then they had somebody out, a sniper, and he was just shooting people. Boom, 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 boom. And then the dad was like, that wasn't random. Well, it was random, but it was a reason that it was random. Like somebody's just out here just killing, and he begins to follow the trails to figure out what actually happened, and he found out his daughter was just a random person. They were trying to kill a different person. They tried to make it look random, and they just knocked and
just
she
got
was
an
just one
extra
of the
body.
random people. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it's a good idea. So nah, but another movie came to mind. Kevin Bacon. It's called Death Sentence.
You know what? You keep telling me about this movie.
Write that down. Add that to your watch list.
Let me
That
put
movie
it in.
came out in the 90s.
No,
Yeah.
it's not Death Sentence. What's the other movie he was in?
Who? Kevin Bacon?
It was in 2000s. I feel like he was a cop and he was doing
Oh, he
something.
wasn't a cop in Death Sentence.
Okay, then he a cop in the other one you told me to watch. It was another movie he was in. You don't remember?
No, I have to think about it, but it has Kevin Bacon in it.
I feel like he was a cop in. Let me see.
Yeah, but I might put
What? Go ahead.
I might put this on like a really good revenge movie.
No, it is. It is a okay. Oh, motive. Well, now it's kind of I guess kind of. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we can go with motive. We can go with motive. We can go with motive. Whose motive was more inspiring, John Wick or Bobby?
Bobby, bruh, his mama, your dog,
Your dying wife gave to you.
his mama, your dog. I'm sorry, yo. John Wick, like for real, for real. You ain't have to do all that for no dog, man.
Okay, it was Death Sentence Jazz. It's actually in 2000s, just not in the 90s. So the
Oh,
same.
got you. But yeah, no, like John Wick's reasoning, like, sir, if you don't take your ass to therapy, this boy saw his mother. He witnessed that. You didn't witness that dog get killed. You just came to that back home in the aftermath.
Now they beat him up. Remember?
That's your fault. You let that dog die.
They beat him up, took the car, killed the dog. So yeah, he had to go fix that. He had to
But
go
that
fix
dog was a puppy though, so that's kind of like a baby dying. So you definitely gotta. I mean, Wick might have
that. You stupid.
it.
Let me see. Have there been really any? Have you seen any action movies this year?
Action movies. I mean, nothing on this scale. Like any kind of fighting. Nah, I've just been sticking with horror and probably romances, I think. So I gotta give me some action movies in my rotation.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna ask you if there was a action movie that you've seen, but I'm like, shit, I can't think of nothing outside of you got this. I have animation. I've been watching like the Justice League. I watched part one and part two of Crisis on Infinite Earth, which two was like super dark for some reason, but I watched those two movies.
I do love some super dark animation. Shout out to X-Men 97. Oh my god. But we're not here for that. But how did you feel about the the way that Bobby was pretty much buying his time and going through training the dog, working at the restaurant, and going to shoot his gun, that he didn't pull the trigger. Like, I feel like this movie did a very good job of showing us the development of the character
Mhm.
with different
Mhm.
type of montages. Like, how do you feel about that element that was used?
I appreciated that because I mean, it showed because it's not just like this. You know, you watch some of this stuff, man. Person ain't never been in a fight a day in their
Mm,
life, and now they whooping everybody ass. They not getting touched. They not getting shot. There's no bruising. They just go through the whole movie. Eventually, they begin to start to get hurt. So I appreciated it. I do appreciate them going through that. Like I said, those the nuances of this. I do feel like those are the ones that stick out the most. So when you start getting those little bitty things, like okay, it makes you appreciate the stuff that you're actually getting. And like I said, playing with those different those camera angles. But I guess it takes a turn when he finally gets to the point of now I'm ready to take on the world. And then he goes into that ring. Um and I guess the kid, Lucky, goes and makes that bet. He takes all the money he's earned and puts it on him in the fight, and he drop kicked that nigga. It's like just at the top of the fight.
Homeboy was like, whoa, whoa, wait, that wasn't what we talked about.
He looked, you monkey motherfucker.
I'm glad he did that because he tried to play Bobby Face at the beginning of the movie. I'm glad
Yeah.
Bobby was just like, yeah, bitch. And you can't do nothing because this is like a live show. You gotta be like, ha ha, all right, y'all, let's go bring out somebody else who got their ass beat.
Yeah, he brought the big giant MF into the ring. I thought that definitely was like, man, they probably gonna have to get some people here to jump him um, when he was getting on his ass. But you know, of course, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So,
Yep.
and
We
I
see that.
appreciate he took their money. He didn't pocket it for himself. He gave it
Right.
back to Alpha and 18. They told him in the beginning, they said we used to be warriors, but when they exiled us, you know, that a lot of that is gone. So um, you know, I guess kind of like Kendrick and Drake, they lit the fire in one another. What? No?
I knew you was waiting to drop something about that shit.
What?
I'm
It's
still waiting. I'm
relevant.
like, Kendrick, where you at? Like, did you really stop? Like, just cause he stopped? No.
I think it's yeah, it may
Come
be over.
on.
I think that's over. Yeah, that, when you have a nice counter like Kendrick had, it's not much you can say.
Then I would just want to be like, let's see if I can exceed what I just did.
But
But
that's see, but like, you know this, but they say what's it? That's like 48 laws of power. If he continued to do that, people begin to feel bad for him. So then it sways the perception that way. I doubt that happens because people don't fuck with old boy. But you know that you don't want to you don't want to kick the dead body. You gotta he did his victory lap. That was that. So
yeah, I guess. But you asked about favorite revenge movie. Have you ever seen a revenge movie to where you felt like the character was just in the wrong with going through the entire method of trying to get revenge?
Ma, yes, I do. Yes. In the Octavia Spencer movie,
Wait,
she was horribly wrong. Yes, I was going to say it was one of my favorite, but no, she was horribly wrong. I understood killing the parents, but the kids didn't do nothing to her. They was just trying to be cool, and then she befriended them, you know, out of spite of what the parents did. So then she was trying to pay them back, and it's like, hold on, don't you can't they can't inherit the hate that I mean, I understand why you would, but that's kind of fucked up.
I'm gonna give you two examples where the children inherited the hate. The
That it was
beef that we
warranted.
just had, Drake and Kendrick, both. And then I'm going to also say Mikey Mike, The House of the Fall of Usher, another movie where the children inherited the hate. So
Ooh,
I
fuck.
just knocked down that with those two examples. And now we can sit up here and be like, yes, the kids, y'all in there too. You should have been swallowed. So it's like, I guess
Wait
it's
a
not your,
minute,
hey man, look,
bro. But they weren't even around. And regardless if see the difference in these situations with Drake Drake with their kids. Their kids don't have to hate each other. If that's as far as when it comes to it,
They're going to.
it'll be
One's going to be
it.
a Cowboys fan, the other one an Eagle fan. They're going to hate each other. Imagine hating somebody you've never seen.
Man, I get the kids hating the daddies, but each other, man. But I mean, you come from a certain place. I guess that's just what that's what happens.
It's like the Montagues and the Capulets.
Capulets and Montague. Is that
Romeo and Juliet?
It is okay. That is okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a good example.
Imagine your 13-year-old out here so in love. Now they done off they self. Now we gotta that's crazy.
It's like, wait, today's Friday. She met him when? On Tuesday.
Man, y'all going outside. What the hell? They probably could have set their families down at some point, and it could have been something like what the fuck?
It's like they hated each other, but they were cordial because the crime rate was too high.
I think it was I think it's always like the wild cards in the family. They really make it crazy, which that's when Romeo killed Mercutio. I used to what
Mercutio got killed by Juliet's cousin,
John Leguizamo.
Yes,
and then he killed. Then Leo killed
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Obviously, we're not talking about the original, but we talking about our original with Leo.
Hey, but in regard, the story does not change. All these things happen. The weapons are different.
So, I'm not gonna lie, that was a really fire concept.
It was.
I'm curious why they haven't tried to redo Romeo and Juliet. I'm not saying that they should, but I'm curious as to why they haven't.
I mean, well, they got the play coming. Because some stuff is like, why would they redo it? I don't think that's something
they redo a bunch of shit.
With that, Leo's still here.
I mean, come on, don't wish that on that man. Hold on, chill. He got some more.
I'm not saying he got a pass, but I'm just saying Leo literally is here.
You have movies that get remakes where the original person is still alive. So,
but that would be the third remake. That'll be a third remake of that movie though, because there's an original back in the 50s or 60s. Why they do it again?
How many movies Michael got? Michael Jackson. 3. He about to get 3. And you can sit up here and not include the one with Flex,
that's not
wait.
No. What? Okay, so that
I don't Mike not here no more.
No, I want to say I don't count that because that's a bio. That's a little bit different. It's like a biopic, and the Jackson 5 movie was about them. It wasn't just about Michael.
Mean Girls.
The Mean Girls. Okay, that's one remake. There's not enough. I'm saying that there's only one remake.
I just named 2.
I'm saying that's one remake though. Color Purple. Then there's a remake. I'm saying there's not 3 remakes. A third remake is crazy.
I know Bring It On has 16 fucking movies.
But they're sequels. They're not remakes.
All right. Okay.
You can when they start doing shitty continuations of stuff that they should stop. That's different. Just like the downfall of Friday the 13th. That was nah, this shit ain't it. I guess. You see that?
I did, and I'm not gonna lie. I was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to Jason's prequel, and I'm looking forward to Welcome to Derry, which is the prequel. And it was a series, so you're going to get a story from that instead of a 1.5 hour movie. And when I saw that, they was just like, nah, we good? Woo! That means ain't nobody come up with nothing good, I guess. I guess the writers just ain't show up for that one. But Jason, you have to create a story for him. Because, you not being fully functional and drowning, that's not enough. That's not enough. So
I was curious, and I was super curious on how they was going to do it, considering he was a kid and then he died, and whatever happened turned him into the monster or the man he became. Like I would have to assume it was, I think in 10 episodes, so many or eight, I think 10 or 18. I mean,
I would
think
get a
so?
motherfucker 6. What all can you tell if it's like 45 minutes? What
I
kind of
mean,
story you telling? He gonna get bullied for 4 episodes?
he get bullied. He get bullied. I say bullied for two or three. He die. The mama come in. The mama come in, and then she began killing people. She die, and at the end, he returns some
You
kind
think
of way.
you think they should do like a whole court case,
Nah,
a
nah,
funeral, and then
nah.
some shit
A
happen?
funeral, yeah. So if they did it where they show how deranged his mother was, and it was understood why she became the killer that she is,
This is
that
what you
would
can
be a
do.
great premise.
You
Go ahead.
start with 2 episodes of the mother before he was born, when she met the daddy, and that whole situation. It was actually a demon. So she out here fucking demons and shit. And it does a time jump in episode 3 to where they're at that camp. And if you talking about 8 episodes, you at the camp, 3 of that shit is spent there. Then at the end of the 5th episode, because the first 2 is just about her and she get pregnant. So the 5th episode is he dies, and then you see the aftermath of his death. She tries to get his body from the lake, but nobody can find it. So they never have a casket at the funeral. So she gonna go crazy there. She gonna end up in a hospital. You might just stretch it into 10 episodes. She end up in a hospital. She on some fucked up shit, and then she escapes from the hospital, goes to the camp, kills them niggas. I just gave them their entire series. Like, I'm not like, when I think about it,
like,
that shit was kind of lit just now. Off the dome.
I gave them a whole series.
I gave you a whole series, 10 episodes.
Make it a thing. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Man, listen.
Oh, okay. I had a question. Actually, I had a question. Because we damn near done with this movie. Like, I just thought about
we
that.
got through this so quick.
I wasn't even trying.
Gonna talk shit.
I know every time. All right. So let's say you were talking to somebody. And it's just DM. The conversation just DMs. Conversation just DMs. Their voice. Do you have a voice that you think that they have? If you've never heard them speak before, do you create a voice for them?
I do.
When you hear their voice, do you read their messages in their voices?
Yes, but the way that I read text messages from anybody, I read it in their voice. As if they're reading it out loud.
So you have a voice for them up until you meet them. So has there ever been a time where the voice aligned with what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah. But the sad part is when it don't align, and then it's just like, damn, that expectation just got killed.
I mean, if it don't align, so that that could be good too, though, right? It could be like, I thought you sound like this, but it's always worse with you.
No, I mean, it's kind of in between. I'm always excited. I'm like, oh, I knew he sounded fine. And then I had some moments where I just be like, damn, he sound like that for real?
What does ugly sounding sound like?
No. Ugly having a sound is crazy, but it does. But it does. Ugly definitely has a sound. But it's subjective as well, though. So
ugly has a sound. So I linked up with my homeboy the other day, and we were drinking. He had some wine. He was like, exactly right. And I'm like, I don't drink. He was like, man, you got to try this because it's a dry something. I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I'm drinking it. And he was like, it has a dry. I said, what does dry taste like? And he just he's like, I can't really say that. Why would you say it? Like, if you don't know what it tastes like, what does dry taste like? A bitter. But when I drunk it, it was like dry tastes like when you brush your teeth in the morning and drink orange juice right after. That's what I feel like dry is. Like it's like a weird.
No, it's
I
not that
said
bad.
I said it is not that it is not that it's that bad. It's just it's a weird taste, almost like that, or maybe it's like just maybe the toothpaste when you get that, you brush your teeth after you get done, it's that minty.
Yeah,
I feel like that may be what dry, because that's what it tastes like. That's what it tasted like to me when I was drinking
yeah, that makes some more sense. Leave the orange juice out of it
it.
because I'm like, God, that sounds terrible.
Oh, okay. Last scenario that I had in my head. All right. So I'm gonna use you. All right. So let's say you were on again, off again with a guy. Y'all text.
When this
It's
episode
not like
drop?
it's not like
Oh shit! All right, I got it.
on again, on again, off again conversation with somebody, right? Um, y'all have never linked. Y'all have never met. It's just been conversation. It
So
has
it's a
been
pen pal.
yes, it has been flirtatious, but y'all haven't linked them. Um, you're on the socials. You start talking to somebody else, hits you up in the DMs. Y'all talking.
Wait, Jason, why am I not faithful to the person that I'm already talking to?
Y'all just talk. It's not a relationship. Y'all not you like
No,
that.
because when I'm talking to somebody for real, I just cancel out everybody.
Okay, okay. That's an interesting.
Is this
That's an
the episode
interesting.
we line on?
Well, this
Are we
is a
lying?
hypothetical, it's a hypothetical, so we don't. So you need to lie to
Oh,
finish my story. To
all
finish, we
right.
got to finish the storyline, as I say on wrestling right now. We got to finish this storyline. So
Wrestling.
wrestling.
That's so country. There's no A in there. Wrestling.
Wrestling, yes. So, all right. So you're on Twitter. I be seeing you. You be flirting a little bit. Um, so let's say you're on Twitter, you flirting, and then somebody jumps into your DMs. They jump into your DMs. The conversation cool. Y'all going back and forth, and then um, there's no exchanging of anything crazy. There's no inappropriate, but you then find out. Oh, go ahead.
I have a question. So if I send him feet pictures, is that considered inappropriate?
It is. Why are you sending the feet pictures?
Jason,
Like you just have feet on standby? Do you have a foot folder?
do you not see my Twitter? Yes, there's a foot folder. What the fuck you mean? Like, where you think I be getting these pictures from? I'll be like, change it. So you mean to tell me you follow me on Twitter and you sitting here like you just be sending feet pictures, Nick?
Yeah, like
Yes.
I don't I did it made me just be an online persona. I didn't know you were doing this in real life too.
Oh, yeah, we lying. Yeah, it's a joke. Joke. Don't do nothing.
All right, so okay, cool. Y'all talking, and then you get to the point of uh you flirt on the timeline, and the on again, off again person, they see it. Now, they don't call it out on the timeline. They just text you.
Ooh,
Um,
amen for them. Some of the Lord's warriors.
So the person that the person that you're flirting with is my best friend. How would you handle that situation?
I'm sending a gift.
A gift, like what kind of
Like,
gift?
for real? Or dead Kevin Hart. Damn. Like what? So
I was talking
I'm
to I had a friend, and that was a scenario for them, and they were trying to figure out like, are they wrong? And I'm like, I mean, it really depends on, I guess, your intention, the intent, or how everything initiated. And now they did say, of course, with the initial girl. Again, they never went out, they never did anything. That was just, again, it was just back and forth conversation. But then the friend popped up. What?
I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Then the friend. Okay. Then the friend popped up. They were talking. Uh, there was nothing. I don't think there was. From what I heard, it was not. There was nothing ever suggested. There was a conversation. Are you in a relationship or are you married? And it was no. And then I think it was a conversation. Is there somebody that would get mad if they knew we was talking in private? And I'm curious.
That's a curious question.
In dating, like is that a real, like, is that in is that at what point is that conversation, like, how do you even how would you handle that question, Jazz? Is there somebody that would be mad if they saw we were talking?
You want to know how I would answer that?
Yeah, I'm asking.
I'd be like, I don't know what get niggas mad. So, like, look, I'm not the one to be trying to sit out here pissing people off. I don't know if somebody be mad or not. Like, if you got my focus, I'm sure it's a nigga that's gonna be upset about that. But I can't worry about somebody else's feelings if it's not his. So I can't sit up here and just be like, oh, I don't want to do this, because unless you're directly disrespecting somebody, sure. But that's just like any kind of harmless flirting that I do on the timeline. If a nigga that's currently talking to me in my DMs right now be like, why you messaging him that, I'm sending him a gift, laughing. Like, so why are you following my tweets? Or no, not that. Why are you monitoring my tweets? Because we not together.
Policing your tweets.
Huh?
Policing your tweets.
Right. I'm just like, what? I don't know. That's just me though. Because I guess in my mind, if I'm just talking to somebody, we're getting to know each other. We are not exclusive. Me thinking that I'm the only person he's talking to, like, no, that's a hope. But let's be for real. Until like we're a thing. But I can't be faithful to a pen pal for real.
Makes sense to me.
How do you even ask a pen pal, like, so am I the only person you're talking to?
Why
Well, we're
would
not
you ask
talking,
them?
we texting. So
I guess within that, because you do have people that really dial in those moments, but I think those people often, I ain't gonna say oftentimes, but all the time get hurt. But yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
but I'm probably not the right person. Because I don't even know what dating is for real. But I'm not, nah. Your friend, I don't think they're in the wrong. Because how are you supposed to know, or how are they supposed to know that y'all too close, y'all best friends? Like,
Yeah, I can't answer that. Can't answer that. But back to the movie. Let me see. Pull my notes back up. All right. So
what was your favorite death in this?
the elevator scene when he was fighting two guys with a knife and he put it in his mouth and he used it to finish him off.
Yeah, that was dope. That was definitely dope. I just loved how oh, mine?
Yeah.
Shit, it might be the elevator scene for me too. Or because he beat the general to death.
Yeah. He beat both of them pretty bad. Do you think you think at the end he died?
I like how they left it open, but no, I don't think he died.
So he definitely got stabbed in the chest, and I was like, oh Lord, bleed out.
Like, you should have known he was going to try some tricky shit. Because you over here, I walk in the room, you over here got your feet in the water. Like a bunch of your men just didn't die downstairs. But he was sticky with it. But I'm glad he fucked him up.
Yeah, he was up there. He was up there big chilling. He was big chilling, but they pull up at the event. And then he started from the bottom floor, and he worked his way up. And like I said, we got that awesome kitchen fighting scene, which led to, I guess, the ballroom. And did Queenie die, or did she get knocked out? Because she only hit her with the tray. I didn't see nothing.
I felt like I saw some blood come out.
Yeah. So you think she cracked her skull.
If she not dead, waking up with a thumb missing, she gonna be mad as hell. And then I also thought it was interesting that she had an Apple computer, and that bitch was a straight up villain. But I don't know if those are U.S. rules. I mean, because obviously this wasn't filmed in the U.S. But so every time I see a laptop, so I will say the fact that you was just like, Jazz, when I tell you this, it's gonna stick in your mind. But I think it's more so I want to prove you wrong than actually trying to support your theory. So I sound like a hater, but you said that it would stick with me forever, and I was just like, it's still sticking. But so yeah, she definitely had an apple. But
was she? I mean, I guess was she a bad person though?
That bitch was a villain. Yeah, she was a terrible madam. She was trying to shoot Bobby, and then she got hit over the head by Bobby's bae, who he made eye contact with all the time, but don't say shit. He's scared. And she lost her thumb because her thumb was the only way to give him access to go to the floor that he needed to go kill the villains. So yes, that bitch was a villain.
Yeah. But of course, we get into the room and he makes it. Like I said, him in the little ballroom. I love the little overhead shot as they're fighting. In there, but then he goes to that, like I said, he goes to the top floor. He beat him to death. Like I don't think he even stood a chance. Like he pushed him through glass, but for the most part, now he got his ass whooped.
I feel like because this is their second time fighting each other, Bobby seemed obviously better, more skilled with his fighting, because I feel like the general was beating his ass in that first fight.
Yeah.
But now he was anticipating the general's moves. When they general punch, he punched and then met it. And he's been in the ring anyway. So he's taking these hits. I was just like, bro, I would have ran away. But Bobby was going to kill him anyway, bro. You killed his mama. And you kept saying your whore mother through the fight. So you're not really helping yourself. And I honestly wanted Bobby to stab him for real.
I think he got him the way he should have. He should have got him. If he didn't burn him up, I mean that would be the only thing that could have made it, right? Go ahead and set him on fire. That would have been a nice little ode to mama. But of course he makes it to the last. The religious guy in the room who's trying. I guess she's trying to passively talk him down to disarm him so he can stab him. Which I was like, man, why are you even sitting and listening to this man? Beat this man ass. But of course, he gets stabbed in the chest. He begins to bleed out. And as this happens, his plane is coming, and he kind of takes his eye off the ball, and Bobby demolishes him.
Blood coming out, spitting up. I said, "Ha, gotcha, bitch."
Yeah, nah, he whooped his ass, and
he did.
I guess he whooped his ass, and like I said, I don't know if he passes away. At the end, they possibly could patch him up, but like he passes, and then we go back and he remembers his mom. And I guess that was a speech that she had, and that was the end of Monkey Man. But of course, the reason. Well, before we get to that, did you have a scene that you wanted to discuss or talk about, or a point that you wanted to bring up?
I did like how when Bobby came off the elevator, when he got to the top floor, I thought that shot was fire. Actually, I thought the shot when he killed the general and he looked at the politician. I wanted him to kill the politician. I wouldn't have let him survive. But that's just me. He let him go, and then when he got into the elevator to where it's just like just the camera angles and the shots, I thought was perfect. But this movie did a very good job with its cinematography.
They did.
But yeah, that's, I think, say what it pretty much covered.
Gotcha. But of course, the reason that we are here Was it good though? Jazz?
Yes, I definitely enjoyed it. I'm glad I went to go see this in theaters. I think I wish a lot more people would go see it. I don't know, like it didn't seem to have too much marketing going on, but yeah, very very good movie. Jason, was it good though?
It was. It was. Like the budget was only 10 million.
Mhm.
It did 24, well, 10 the week it came out. So it made its budget back.
Okay, that's
Uh,
good.
and at this point, we're sitting at 25 million and 33 worldwide. So yep, it got his money back. So at least that's a positive for something like that.
Yeah,
And then what was it? What you changed the people's thoughts? What is it now?
it is. What you think though?
Gotcha. Did you have any? Because I know I didn't see
I
nobody.
did. I got some from CJ's Exclusive Designs. I actually enjoyed this. I didn't know why I thought it was a horror movie. I'm not sure either, but you know what? I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I got one from Dion Coleman. Response was really enjoyed it. Dev Patel did a good job making this. And I will say he was also the director and starred in this. And a movie that is like this, to be in both of those positions, I think is very impressive. And I definitely hope to see more movies where he's directing because, in my opinion, I think he did a great job with this.
Yeah, he actually wrote, produced, and directed. So
And starred. So
and
he's
starred.
like
Mhm.
higher than TP right now because, okay, okay, I like it. So your
um,
Link of Thrones.
yes,
Who you
yeah.
got? Give
So
me
I
yours.
have. You ready?
Yes.
I have Sharlto Copley. He was in Russian Doll with my girl
Oh yes, with
Natasha Leon.
yes. I need to
That
watch
baby lying.
season 2 because I
I did.
enjoyed season one.
I never watched season two neither. Whenever
Season
it came back
two,
out.
because like I feel like it was like a 2 year gap between when they were released, so it was probably
Mhm.
best to restart season 1 to start season 2. And they was doing time jumps like crazy, so I was just like,
Actually,
all
three.
right,
Actually, 3 years.
like 3 years between season 1 and 2.
Yeah, 2019 then 2022. I
The
think,
hell, yeah,
but you gotta remember 2019 came out during
yeah,
it came
COVID.
out in 2019, so right before COVID and all those things happened. So yeah. But then she got a second her other TV show is fire too, so I'm waiting for them to bring. I'm shocked they didn't bring
Yes,
that back
Poker
yet.
Face.
Yeah, and it got renewed. I'm surprised they didn't bring it back. But
I'm gonna have to look at some news about that. Poker Face was fire. My Link of Thrones is going to be Dev Patel, and he was in the newsroom.
so I shouldn't want to say
That's why I didn't want to say it. Yeah.
it. But I mean, I think that's everything here. Did you have any last or final words?
I definitely just wanted to say initially we were supposed to get our homeboy Swerve for this episode, but due to schedule conflicts, he was not able to join. But hopefully, we'll be able to get him on an episode soon. I want to give a shout out to Selfish Clothing. I'm hoping to be having some swag on during our Vegas trip. So I can definitely represent that Black owned business. And I think that's all I have. Shout out to everybody. We are officially 101 in the 3 digits. Please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. Definitely please drop a rating on our episodes. We appreciate it. Any kind of comments or feedback, drop it on the comments of our stuff. Jason, you have anything to close us out?
I don't really have anything. Appreciate everybody who listens, follows, chats with us, listens. I think I said that twice. Next week, episode 102, we got Abigail coming up, so that'll be an interesting conversation to have. But I don't have anything else, Jazz. So I guess until next time.
This was a good little
Tuesday.
podcast. Cheers.